Why is it that people are so fast to criticize other people with personal brands? Is it because they make more money? Is it because they seem like a different person on camera and then off it? Or maybe it's just easier to criticize what someone else is showing than to admit you've never shown yours. I believe the gap between people who are, quote unquote, out there on social media and people with no brand at all is a lot smaller than it looks. And it's not some rare personality trait most people are missing. It's a business philosophy and an approach. In fact, I would probably say it's like a decision, really a decision that nobody frames in that way at all. This is a story about how people with personal brands flip the switch and how you can make up the ground in just 30 days. I want to start where most people don't even think about at all, and that's day zero. A lot of people I work with and a lot of people who contact me, they are genuinely impressive. There's real competency, real experience, and there's a business that is actually generating profit, and it's a life that looks like a really strong and tasteful life. And then you look at the personal brand and none of that comes through. Either it's just not there at all, or when it is there, it lands very classlessly. Not because they're classless people, but because nobody ever taught them how to actually show it.
Right now on the internet, it's the best time to be authentic. If we want to see real people, we need people to be who they really are. Fake it till you make it. That's always been a saying. But right now I feel like being true and being truthful about things is gonna take you there the same way.
And there's a real skill gap between living a life well and presenting that life well. And almost nobody tells founders those are two completely different disciplines. Sometimes, actually most times, it's on them. They've built a company and not a media presence, obviously. And this was never their job. Their job was never to be an influencer. But other times it's their team. And the people handling their content don't have an eye for it either. So the gap just compounds instead of closing. And here's the part that actually costs the founder something. This isn't a vanity problem. Every day that great life stays invisible is a business opportunity they aren't converting because people trust what they can see, not what you tell them.
If you wish to be the king of the jungle, it's not enough to act like a king. You must be the king.
And it's not just about business. It's the partners, the relationships, the doors that open with peers and friends and family that come from personal branding. There's a very real, very specific list of reasons why these people can't show what they've built. And that list is the actual starting point for everything that comes after it.
Yeah, none of you pussies is acting the same. I know my money, I'm racking my brain.
Before any of that gets fixed, there's a certain decision, and this decision is made by the people that we so often see on social media. And the way that decision usually plays out is a flip of the switch. You go from someone who only consumes content to someone who starts producing it.
I am just trying to document my life and what I'm doing and my learnings in the most authentic and raw way possible.
That's the whole shift, and it sounds small when I say it like that, but almost nobody, and even people that do create content, make it. So staying a consumer, that's the comfortable part. It doesn't ask anything of you. Look at anyone whose brand you'd point to as the standard. Iman Gaji, Daniel Dalen, Brez Scales, Blake Roca. Every one of them had a story worth telling and real experience in whatever they're building, but what actually separated them at the end of the day was not the story. It's that at some point they stopped watching others people's version of content and started making their own. But they got inspired first, of course. They looked at that content, they understood that it works, and then they said, now I am going to create, now I'm going to produce this content, and I'm going to flip the switch with inspiration.
I saw what he was doing and I was like, that's amazing. I got jealous, then we met up, and then he started getting all up in my head. He's like, bro, every day you don't document this, you're missing an opportunity. You're fucking up. This is amazing. This is crazy. Look around you. Look at everything. And I'm like, you might be right.
Once that switch is flipped, the first real chunk of work has nothing to do with a camera. It's understanding what actually drives people, not what makes them buy something, what makes them want something. There's a giant difference there. There's a lifestyle difference. People aren't chasing a product half the time. They're chasing a feeling about themselves. Confidence, maybe consideration, maybe freedom, whatever it is for you specifically. And you can't sell that feeling to anyone until you've gone and found it for yourself. So this stretch is vision boards, it's mood boards, it's reference boards, it's pulling together everything that represents the life and the taste you're actually trying to communicate. Locations, wardrobe, pacing, scripting, the kind of rooms you're photographed in. And here's the part that people get backwards quite often. You have to understand your own taste before you can understand what's going to resonate with anyone else's. That's why the reference process matters this much. It's not decoration, it's the research phase, and it's the one everyone wants to skip.
We use the VHS shot, we use match cuts, we use fonts, everything, and that's like how you really create a little bit of your own style.
This is why the people who do this really well, they never feel like they're cosplaying or playing a character or an actor. In fact, I would probably say they're so good at what they do that other people think it's an act, but it's not. It's just them understanding what converts with people and what sells the performance. And that is, to me, sprint one. There's no camera, it's just getting it down on paper, exactly what you're gonna build toward. Sprint 2 is where I would say most of my clients and generally just most of people on social media trip up, because it's a part almost nobody in the space actually does. It's building your pre-production the way a real creative studio would, like your Fortune 500 company, like there's a whole team behind you, even if right now that team is just you or an assistant or an intern. The pattern that I will see consistently is someone sees a piece of content that they really love and they're inspired by, and the reaction is, okay, this is so fire, I'm gonna go and do something like this. There's no standards, there's no foundation, there's no actual plan for how to improve on the thing that inspired them in the first place. They copy the surface and hope it lands. And then there's a moment everybody hits where this becomes obvious. You realize, okay, this inspires me, that's great, but if I actually want to compete with it or even just match it, something has to change on my end. I need an iteration, a real structural improvement, not just the enthusiasm of like, hey, this is a great piece. A scripting process, a storyboarding process, a shot list, the same tools that have existed in Hollywood and television forever that for some reason nobody in our space, nobody in personal branding bothers with. And you don't need the full Hollywood 10-person, 100-person team. Even the minimal version of these steps gets you most of the way there. All right, and then by the end, all of that work actually buys you something. By the time you are standing in front of your camera, you already know why the thing that inspired you worked, and you already know how you're going to build it. So instead of stepping into content like you're performing a role you don't fully understand, the act becomes natural, it becomes organic. You know exactly what value someone's going to get from watching because you did the work to understand it before you even hit record. And really truthfully, because you're putting it real energy and real emotion into real scripts, into not manufactured energy, you come across less like someone posting a video and more like an actor carrying a genuinely great scene and message.
The way he gives you direction, the way he kind of makes you look at the scene, you know, maybe the same way that you have been looking at it, but just tweaked it a little bit.
And that's the standard between a personal brand that does badly and a personal brand that is tasteful and aesthetic, energetic enough that people can feel it. And it's not just another flat and scrolled past piece of content. Trust me, I've done it. My clients have been there. I've been there. And energy is not something you want to be having a problem with. Once you've felt all that, once the energy has come across, you've recorded the content, you've posted the static carousel, whatever it might be, you've had the moment where something you made actually landed the way you meant it to. It starts to pattern out. That's when you get to the part no one talks about, the debrief. Sitting down with your team, or maybe it's just yourself for now, and asking the really, really boring questions. What actually worked statistically and emotionally? Where are those gaps and what gets fixed before the next one? Sometimes it's even the act. Sometimes it's even how the energy comes across. Is it too many hand gestures? Is it too fast of a speech? Is it maybe I'm going too far into the details and I'm confusing the viewer like I might be right now? That's what refines the process for round two. But the one thing that doesn't get touched on or lowered is how much energy you put into it, because you've done so much on the pre-production. You know the value will be there. Maybe not as much as you want for everyone, but at least something. So let's be real, in this hero's journey of making a personal brand, 30 days isn't going to hand you a decade of reputation built by someone else. That's not the promise, and anyone telling you otherwise is selling you something fugazi. What 30 days can actually do is run you through every one of these stages at least once, flipping the switch, building the reference, structuring the pre-production, actually performing it, and then debriefing on it. And most people never complete that loop a single time in their life. You can complete it in a month if you structure it. And running it again gets gets faster and closer every time. If this was useful, subscribe and drop in the comments which part you're actually stuck on right now, the decision, the reference work, or getting in front of the camera. I try to respond to as many comments as possible. And of course, very, very lastly, if you got to this point, if you wish to work with me, click the link below and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.